A recent decision by the New South Wales government to fast-track the privatisation of some Crown paper roads has recreational anglers up in arms.
It's just another slap in the face to fishermen who just want to go about their way. 90%, 95% of these people are not going to create a problem for the land users. They're just there to fish, to enjoy their time and do it legally. They're not lawbreakers.
The Minister for Regional Infrastructure, Andrew Stoner, has decided to speed up the process of selling these roads. To do this, Mr Stoner has decided to cut out the consultation required with recreational users, such as fishers.
Andrew Stoner, the Minister for, in essence, lands these days, he issued a press release on the 30th of August that indicated they were going to expedite the sale of Crown roads, in essence Crown paper roads. They're roads that are on a map, in essence, on some maps only, that allow public access through those areas to any other public lands or the waterway.
But for hundreds of dedicated anglers, it may be that they are denied access to areas they've happily been able to fish for years.
We have a legal right to access waterways, and that's in the legislator. You know, so and part of the objectives of providing the public with thoroughfare and access, we lose that right and we convert that back to freehold land. Then anglers will have to negotiate with landholders for that access to be retained, and it can be wiped away at any time. Currently, that access is there in perpetuity. It sits there until someone changes it.
Around 2,000 roads in New South Wales, which are crucial for angler access, are in danger of being converted to private land.
Unfortunately, with what the Minister proposes, in a lot of places like this that perhaps might not be quite so well known, there'll be no opportunity for locals to identify what land is the subject of an application for purchase by a neighbouring property owner, and the access will be lost, having passed into private hands, almost impossible to claw back again once the Minister's had his way.
Don Barton, President of the New South Wales CFA, took me to see what these paper roads look like and what kind of fishing they can lead to.
This, as you can see, is a nice stretch of the Fish River in the central west of New South Wales. Water's a bit high and muddy at the moment, but often very good fishing, and it's the only spot where you can access this river within about 5 kilometres upstream and downstream from this point. There's a public road over there. It's only about 80 metres from the public road to the river, but that's private land and there's no access through that. But on this side, you've got public land that comes right down to the river, set aside at some time as a road, but never formed up, and so it's a road that's only existed on paper, and hence the expression paper road. But don't let that expression fool you. Although it's a paper road, it's a very important road for the public to be able to have access through to get to fishing opportunities like this, or for that matter, kayaking or any other water-based activity, because this river is public water that the public are entitled to use.
Landholders often take the law into their own hands, with some even erecting barbed wire and electrical fences across these roads and stretches of river that pass through their land.
There have been a lot of cases of landholders putting fences across the river that are clearly designed to stop people exercising that right. There are cases of electric fences put across the river, bits of conveyor belting, a lot of things like that. There have been a lot of unpleasant altercations with landholders and anglers who've been moving up the river, keep out signs erected and so on.
Jack Town has been fishing for over a decade. He says that the Australian system of access is becoming more and more privatised and beginning to look like the English system.
If you fish in England, every stream can be owned and every stream has an owner, and that forces basically fishing to become privatised. It means that you pay upwards of £500 for one day for 100 metres of waterfront. Now, Australia wasn't built like that. Australia's not meant to be like that. This is an open country. I think we should have the right to be able to fish on Crown waters, on Crown land, because it's public, and we don't want to privatise fishing. It's a downward trend, and I don't want to see Australia's waters be locked up like that.
Fishing groups across New South Wales are continuing to fight for their legal right of access to be respected.
We want access to those priority areas down to our waterways. We're not worried about the other lands.
Give some due regard to the public interest and to give an opportunity for the roads that provide valuable access like this to be identified from the many other bits of similar land that really do have no public utility and can be sold without any problem.
This is Millie Brooks reporting for Get Hooked.